I'd like to tell you a story from Luke, the Gospel according to Luke chapter 24. Listen for a word from God. On that same day, what day, you ask? Well, the third day. The day the women went to the tomb and found it empty. On that day, two of them were going to a village called Emmaus, about 7 miles from Jerusalem. And they were talking and discussing all the things that had happened there these past few days. And as they were talking and discussing, Jesus himself came near and went with them. But their eyes were kept from recognizing him. He asked them, "What are you discussing with each other while you walk along?" And they stood still, looking sad. Then one of them, whose name was Cleopas, he said, "Are you the only stranger in Jerusalem who does not know the things that have taken place there in these days?" Jesus replied, "What things?" They said, "The things about Jesus of Nazareth, who was a prophet, mighty in deed and word before God and all the people, and how our chief priests and leaders handed him over to be condemned to death, and they crucified him. Yes, but we had hoped that he was the one to redeem Israel. And besides all this, it is now the third day since all these things have happened. Moreover, some women from our group astounded us. They went to the tomb early this morning, and when they did not find his body, they came back saying that they indeed had seen a vision of angels saying that he was alive. Well, some from our group went to the tomb. They found it exactly as the women had said. They did not see him. And Jesus said, "Oh, how foolish you are, and how slow of heart to believe all that the prophets have declared. Wasn't it necessary that the Messiah should suffer these things and then enter into his glory?" And beginning with Moses and all the prophets, he interpreted to them the things about himself in all the scriptures. Well, when they came near the town to which they were going, Emmaus, he went ahead as if he were going on, but they urged him strongly, saying, "Stay with us. It's nearly evening. The day is almost done." So he went in to stay with them. And when they were all at the table together, he took the bread and he blessed it and broke it and gave it to them. And then their eyes were opened and they recognized him. And he vanished from their sight. They said to each other, weren't our hearts burning within us while we walked on the road? As he opened the scriptures to us. That very hour, they got up and they returned to Jerusalem. And they found the 11 and their companions gathered together. And they were saying, the Lord is risen indeed. He has appeared to Simon. And then they told them how he had met them on the road and how he had been made known to them in the breaking of the bread. While they were talking about all these things, Jesus himself stood among them. He said, "Peace be with you." And they were startled. And they were terrified, thinking that they were seeing a ghost. Jesus said to them, "Why are you frightened? Why do doubts arise in your hearts? Look at my hands and my feet and see that it is I myself. Touch me and see, for a ghost does not have flesh and bones as you see that I have." And then he showed them his hands and his feet. And while in their joy, they were disbelieving and wondering, he said to them, "Have you anything here to eat?" They gave him a piece of broiled fish and he ate it. In their presence. The wonder of God's story. What do you wonder?